everyone, welcome to the answers to the balancing equation sheet. Just a quick note, I did write on Google Classroom that you should not be doing question number 5 because I thought it just looked nasty really. So if you are stuck on number 5, that's because you don't need to do it. So I will talk through the rest of the answers now and hopefully that makes sense. So question number 1, first thing we do is we write, we write down what we have. So H and O. On the left hand side we have 2 hydrogen, 2 oxygen. On the right hand side we have 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. How do we correct that? We put a big 2 in front of it. So we get 2 oxygen now, but we get 4 hydrogen. Oh dear, still not balanced. We need to get 4 hydrogen on the left hand side. How do we do it? We put a big 2, which gives us 4. Check it. Hydrogen 4, oxygen 2, bish bash bosh, done. Okay, so next one, we've got aluminium and bromine. On the left hand side we've got 1 and 2, on the left hand side we've got 1 and 3. Now, if you end up with a 2 and a 3 that you're trying to make the same, the easiest thing to do is times the one that's got 3 in by 2, therefore turning it into 6, and turn the one that's got 2 in by 3, therefore also turning it into 6, because they both go into 6. So that makes your life a lot easier. Just a quick note, that also turns into a 2 because you've got 2 lots of aluminium there. 2 aluminium, 6 bromine. On the left hand side, 1 aluminium, 6 bromine. We can correct that by putting a 2 in front of the aluminium. Okay, next one. Calcium, oxygen, 1, 2, 1, 1. Okay, so right hand side we need 2 oxygen. Let's put a big 2 in front of it. So we've now got 2 oxygen and 2 calcium. On the left hand side we therefore need 2 calcium. So we put a big 2 in front of it. Check it. 2 calcium, 2 calcium, 2 oxygen, 2 oxygen. Lovely jubbly. Okay, now we've got iron, oxygen and carbon. Unfortunately they're tiny lines to write on, so I'm having to spread it out a bit. Just again, make sure they're in the right order. So we've got 2 iron, 3 oxygen and 1 carbon. We've got 1 iron, 2 oxygen and 1 carbon. Okay, let's do the oxygen first, and let's do that 2-3 trick again. So where there are 2 oxygens on the right hand side, I'm going to times that whole thing by 3. So I now end up with 3 carbons and 6 oxygen. On the left hand side, I'm going to times that whole thing by 2, if you remember. So that also gives me 6 oxygen. It does, however, give me 4 iron. Okay, so we've got the oxygen to balance. That's lovely. Now let's do the carbon. On the right hand side, we have 3 carbon. On the left hand side, we only have 1. So let's put a big 3 in front of it and turn that into 3. Now let's do the iron. On the left hand side, we have 4 iron. On the right hand side, we have 1. So let's put a big 4 in front of it. Okay, 5 we're not doing, and let's move on to 6. So we've got calcium, hydrogen and chlorine, We've got 1, 1 and 1, 1, 2 and 2. Okay, so we need both hydrogen and chlorine on the left hand side to be 2. That's nice and easy. We'll put a big 2 in front of it. 2 and 2. Check it. Calcium 1, hydrogen 2, chlorine 2, lovely jubbly. Okay, so next one, it's getting a bit trickier here. Magnesium, chlorine, sodium, oxygen and hydrogen. That's magnesium, chlorine, sodium, oxygen and hydrogen. So we've got 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to do the chlorines. 2 and 1, nice and easy to do. So let's do a big 2 in front of the NaCl on the right hand side, which will turn the number of chlorines we have into 2. It'll also put the number of sodiums to 2. Now, on the right-hand side, I have 2 sodium, 2 oxygen and 2 hydrogen, and I only have 1 of them on the left-hand side. But that's really easy to correct because, look, we've got them all bunched together. So by putting a big 2 in front of that, we can turn them all into 2s. Check it. Magnesium 1, chlorine 2, sodium 2, oxygen 2, hydrogen 2, hydrogen 2. On a roll, baby. Right, now we have, again, it's quite a long one, barium, chlorine, lithium, sodium, and sulfur even, and oxygen. Then again, barium, chlorine, lithium, sulfur, and oxygen. Please notice, even though I was very tempted that, I have made sure they are in the right order again. They are always in the same order. So barium 1, chlorine 2, lithium 2, sulfur 1, oxygen 4, barium 1, chlorine 1, lithium 1, sulfur 1, oxygen 4. Okay, so what's different? We've got lithium and chlorine. There are 2 of them on the left-hand side, only 1 of them on the right-hand side. But luckily, lithium and chlorine are bunched together. So by putting a big 2 there, I can correct both at the same time. Check it. Barium, barium, lithium, lithium, oxygen, oxygen, chlorine, chlorine, sulfur, sulfur. Balanced. Right. So here we've got hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen, rubidium. That's it. Then hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen, rubidium. And we've got on the left-hand side 2, 1. Oh, no, I tell a lie. Look at that. I wasn't even paying attention. You've got 2 hydrogen here, but you've also got 1 hydrogen there. So that makes 3 in total. That. So you've got 3, 1 sulfur. Then you've got 4 oxygen in that H2SO4 and another one on the next bit. So that's 5. And you've got 1 rubidium. On this hand side, you've got 2 hydrogen, 1 sulfur, 4 oxygen, 2 rubidium. Okay, so let's think. Easiest thing I'm thinking is to do rubidium. You see how it's 2 on the right and 1 on the left? Let's correct that. Let's go for 2 in front of the rubidium bit, so I can change everything. I've now got 2 rubidium. I've still got 4 oxygen here, but now I've got 2 to add on. So in total, I've got 6 oxygen. I've still got 2 hydrogen on the left, and now I've got 2 hydrogen to add on. So rather than 3, I've now got 4 hydrogen. So now let's compare. I've got 4 hydrogen on the left, 2 on the right. Now that's an issue. 1 sulfur, 2 rubidium. Okay, that's fine. And 6 oxygen and 4 oxygen. So clearly we need to work on the hydrogen and the oxygen. Let's look at the hydrogen. You've got 4 on the left, 2 on the right. How do we make it double? We put a big 2 in front of it. So we've now got 2 lots of 2 hydrogen, so that's 4 hydrogen. Fabulous. We've got on this one here, you've still got 4 oxygen, but now you've got another 2 to add to it. So that's 6 in total. I think we're done. Hydrogen 4, oxygen 6, sulfur 1, rubidium 2. Lovely jubbly. Okay, here we've got carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. 3, 8, 2, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, let us do hydrogen first. Should we do hydrogen first? Shall we? Should we do that? Okay, so you've got 8 hydrogen on the left and only 2 on the right. So we want to correct that. So I'm going to put a big 4 in front of it. Meaning you've got 8. Now I've got 2 oxygen here in the carbon dioxide and 4 of them there, giving me a total of 7 oxygen on the right. Now let's do carbon. So we've got 3 carbon on the left and only 1 on the right. So let's correct that by putting a big 3 here. So now I've got 3 carbon, but again it's affected the oxygen. So now I've got 6 oxygen here and still got that 4. So now I've got a total of 10 oxygens on the right hand side. Carbon is now balanced, hydrogen is now balanced. The only thing that isn't is oxygen. You've got 10 of them on the right, only 2 of them on the left, but I can correct that by putting a 5 in front of it. So you end up with 10 oxygen. Right, some of those were more tricky than others, but I'm hoping you get the idea of count it, write it down, make sure it's in the right order, put big numbers in it to times it out. Right, thanks everyone, I'll see you on Zoom.